Word problems with decimals. In this video, we're going to go through one example. So, the nutrition information on a box of cereal says that a regular serving contains 2.8 grams of protein, 0.2 grams of fat, and 25 grams of carbohydrates, and finally 1.9 grams of other nutrients. Give the total number of grams in a regular serving. So the first thing I'm going to do is figure out, am I adding these numbers together or am I subtracting them? Well, I want to know the total number of grams, so that tells me I'll be adding these numbers together. The numbers I'm adding together, I'm going to circle. So I've got 2.8 grams of protein, 0.2 grams of fat, 25 grams of carbs, and 1.9 grams of other nutrients. Perfect. So I've taken this question and I've extracted some important information. I figured out what kind of operation I'm doing, and finally, what are the numbers I'll be adding or subtracting. Next, before we do any word problem, we're going to estimate. We're going to estimate reasonably and then compare it to our actual solution. So, to estimate, we're going to round these numbers. I'm going to estimate that 2.8 is approximately 3.0 grams. And once again, I'm using the grids to line up my numbers. 0.2, well, that's a funny number, so I'm just going to write it as is. I'm not going to round that number because I'm either going to round it to 0 or 0.5. But let's just leave it as it is because it's going to be an easy one to kind of add into our numbers. 25, well, that's already kind of rounded for us, so I'm going to keep it at 25. So I'm going to put the 5 in the ones place. There's an invisible decimal place after the 5, and the 2 goes in the tens place. And remember, adding zeros doesn't change the value. It just helps us visualize the decimal numbers and add them a lot easier. Then finally, 1.9, I'm going to round that to about 2. So once again, I'm going to add that decimal there, the 0 there, sorry. So now let's add these four numbers together and figure out what our estimate will be. So going down the column, 0 plus 2 plus 0 plus 0 is 2. I'm going to bring down the decimal before I move on to my ones place. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. Write the 10 in the ones, or the 0 in the ones place, and carry the 1 from the 10. 2 plus 1 is 3. So my estimate is roughly 30.2. I'm going to write grams just so then I remember that I have to include the unit at the end. Now finally, let's figure out our actual solution. So we've got 2.8, we've got 0.2, we have 25, and once again I'm going to add the decimal and then 0 just to kind of hold its place, and 1.9. I'm going to add these four numbers together. Let's see what we get. 8 plus 2 is 10, 10 plus 9 is 19, write the 9, carry the 1, don't forget the decimal place. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 5 is 8, plus 1 is 9. No carrying or regrouping needed here, and then just 2 plus, well, there's a little invisible 0 here, so 2 plus 0 is 2. So looking at my estimate, which was about 30.2, and my actual answer, which is 29.9, I think I have figured out the solution and it's reasonable within my estimate. And the final thing I have to do is write my answer in a sentence. The question was given to me in a sentence, so I have to answer in a sentence. So my final answer is the total number of grams is 29.9 grams. I could have written the total number of grams in a regular serving is 29.9 grams, but I kind of ran out of room, so I just left that regular serving bit out. But the more information you have in your final answer, the better off you are. Okay, time for you to try the practice problems in your learning guide. Don't forget to check the solutions after you've completed the question. Don't forget to estimate your actual solution and don't forget to write your final answer in a sentence form. I've noticed some of you are forgetting that, and it's very, very important. Good luck!